Welcome back everybody to the channel, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. Hope y'all enjoy what I got for you today. Now, into this video we'll talk about 15 new and upcoming Xbox Series X games. So without further ado, let's get into it. And guys, if I sound a little bit rusty, it's because I have a cold. No, it's not COVID, cold, like common cold, that shit still exists. Let's get into it. First upon this is Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Extraction. Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Extraction is an upcoming tactical hero shooter game being developed and published by Ubisoft. The game is currently co-op multiplayer where players of 3 are loaded into a map where they then have to kill various infected creatures for their DNA to be studied and also recover intel and material, and many of the specialists from Rainbow Six Siege are playable characters in Rainbow Six Extraction. Now, the game world is split into 3 different sections, with each player given separate tasks to do in a certain section of the map, and when such task is completed, player can either choose to be extracted or remain to explore difficult areas. The game has a release date of somewhere in January 2022.
Should move to the next one. You've got a good thing going. Keep it up in the next subzone.
Medkit here.
Benny, there's ammunition here.
Getting Gunk here.
Airlock sequence initiated. All personnel to airlock immediately.
Reloading.
Next up on this list is Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. Warhammer 40,000 Darktide is a upcoming action adventure shooter game being developed and is published by Fat Shark. The game takes place on the planet of Atoma Prime in the hive city of Deuterium. The game is a 4-player co-op, although you'll be able to play with AI teammates, and you and your team will have to defeat waves of AI enemy. The game has a release date of somewhere in 2022. Next upon this list is Tiny Tina Wonderland. Tiny Tina Wonderland is an upcoming first-person shooter action adventure role-playing game being developed by Gearbox Software and to be published by 2K Games. The game can either be played in solo or with an online trio or local split screen mode. That's something I've seen in a long time. The game will begin right where predecessor Tiny Tina Assault on Dragon Keep ended. You'll be able to create your own playable characters with 6 different characters sets to choose from, and you'll be able to mix these character skills when creating your player. You will have different abilities and skills that can be upgraded with hero points, and following with the Borderlands style, you will have a lot of weapons to use in combat. There's also magic involved, so you can cast away with your magical spells. You will also be able to travel to different locations in the world, but look out because there's random combat encounter in this game. The game has a release date of March 25, 2020.
Full of shooting, looting, and mystical, magical, smelly stuff. What's up? And save that your psychic ghost sword? Stabomancers are all about creating and
Next up on this list is Somerville. Somerville is a upcoming action-adventure game currently being developed by Jumpship and actually published by the Xbox Game Studio. The game is very similar to Limbo, as the game is being played from third-person perspective, and at times it is said to feel like a platform game. In this game, you'll take control of a family of 3, a father, a mother, and their son, and also a pet dog. And you must guide this family through a post-apocalyptic Earth, and you must avoid alien weapons and artifacts trying to kill humans. And also find and work with any other human survivors to keep your family safe. The game has a release date of summer in 2022. Next up on this list is the Gunk. The Gunk is a upcoming action-adventure game being developed by Imogen From Games and to be published by Thunderful Publishing. The game will star a duo of space haulers struggling to make money until they end up on an untouched planet filled with life, and so they're planning to gather alien parts and other worthy resources from this planet, thinking they have hit the jackpot to find out there's a scattered civilization, so they both make it their priority to save the planet from this curse of a junk parasite while trying to avoid falling into its traps. The game has a release date of December, 2021, somewhere in December. The day is not yet revealed, so we gotta wait for that one.
Storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The Gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the Gunk's gone. Please, Bex.
Next up on this list is Shredders. Shredders is a upcoming swordboarding racing sports game being developed and to be published by Foam Punch. The game is said to have one of the best snowy graphics ever to be seen in a game. The game can be played with friends with almost every rider you'll see. He's said to be an online player. The game is similar to Steep and also take inspiration from a lot of snowboarding films. The game has a release date of somewhere in December 2021. Still no release date as yet, so next up is Project DT. Project DT is an upcoming third-person combat game being developed by Digital Sky. The game has not yet gotten a release date, and there's little to nothing known about this game, so really, we'll just have to wait and see if we can get anything else on this game, but this is what we have for now. Here's some gameplay, so guys enjoy that. Next up on this list is CrossfireX. CrossfireX is an upcoming first-person shooter action-adventure game with Remedy Entertainment working on a single-player campaign, while Smilegate Entertainment is working on a free-to-play multiplayer mode. And the game is being published by X+ Game Studio. The gameplay of CrossfireX is similar to something like CSGO, where two opposite teams basically fighting against each other, with one team attacking another team for victory by doing objective from planting bombs or stopping another team from planting one. And there's also many different modes to enjoy, but the single player campaign will be a totally different thing and is not free to play, as you have to purchase the story mode. The story mode have several different episodes where the Blacklist and the Global Risk are both at war with each other. The game has a release date of somewhere in 20.
We are taking B.
Next upon this list is Bright Memory Infinite. Bright Memory Infinite is a upcoming person shooter action adventure role-playing fighting game being developed by FYQD Personal Studio and is published by Playism. The game is set in 2036 and you will be playing as the gaming character Sheila, who has the main goal of stopping a legendary ancient power from landing into the hands of bad people. The game will feature a lot of weapons and melee combat alongside a different upgradable skills and ability. The game is set to be releasing in late 2020.
What happened? Shelly.
But you're too late. Once I finish pouring this primordial flood over Earth, the black hole will change the world.
Keep moving forward. The exit is up ahead.
Oh no! The road!
Shelly, get out of there now!
Next up on this list is Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 is a first-person shooter game being developed by DICE and published by Electronic Arts. Now, Battlefield 2042 is the next Battlefield game after 2018 Battlefield 5. Battlefield 2042 will not feature any single-player campaign like the previous Battlefield games did, but tend to have a lot of new features and a fun multiplayer game. The game will feature the classical 4 class of those basically assault, engineer, medic, and recon. You will also unlock weapons and gear for each class the more you progress online. The game will feature 3 main game modes, being All Out Warfare, which will feature a bit of Breakthrough, and Conquest all in one. The other 2 modes are Conquest, which the 2 teams fight over control for all the control points, and the 3rd mode, where one team is set to control all the opposition control point and the other team must fight to defend it. Sounds a bit like Call of Duty Search and Destroy in a way. The game will also feature heavy sandstorms and tornado. Battlefield 2042 will be releasing for Xbox Series X on November 19, 2020.
Releasing drone. Don't let me die!
Conquest proceeding. We now control most of the map.
Troop strength diminished. We're drawing on reinforcements.
Got one of them.
Next up on this list is Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is a first-person shooter action-adventure game that has a single-player mode and a campaign mode, unlike the game we just talked about. Now, this game is currently being developed by 343 Industries and is being published by the Xbox Game Studio. Now, Halo Infinite was supposed to be released all the way back in 2020, but as you know, it got delayed way back in 2021, which is a good thing because the game seems to be in a better state now than it was last year. And I gotta say, it's kinda sad knowing that Halo Infinite won't be launched with co-op or Forge, which kinda sucks, but it'll be added in hopefully down in the line. Now, there's a lot of new guns that are introduced in the multiplayer mode, which is expected. Now, the multiplayer mode is pretty much classical Halo for the most part, just with a few tweaks in gameplay and graphical fidelity, which is not a bad thing, and the game actually runs very good on the Xbox Series X. Now, the game is in beta, but no, the game will be better at launch, and hopefully will continue to run this buttery smooth all the way there. Now, there's not much known about the campaign story, which is sad, but I'm pretty sure they'll release more as like we approach like the release date sooner or later down the year. The game has a release date of December 8, 2021.
Shields are down! Power items inbound. Grenade out! Taking... Power items have arrived.
Halfway to victory.
That looked very painful. Your ammo reserves are depleting.
Killing spree.
Valorous work, Spartan.
Enemies hurt. Take these down.
Next up on this list is Elden Ring. Elden Ring is an upcoming action role-playing open-world action-adventure game being developed and published by From Software, the same makers of Demon's Soul franchise. Elden Ring takes place in the land between, and after the destruction of Elden Ring scattering its shards all across the realm. The realm is being ruled by a demigod offspring of Queen Maraki, the Eternal, who possesses a shard of the Elden Ring that is itself corruption and gives them more power, well, for the bad. Now, this causes the player to be summoned to find and restore the Elden Ring, ultimately becoming the Elden Lord. The game is played from a third-person perspective, just like all the Soul games. The game focuses mainly on combat and exploration, with different NPCs that can be found all throughout the lands. The game will also have 6 main areas ranging from the castle, fortress, catacombs, and there's also a horse to use as transportation and also can be used in combat. The game focuses on close range combat with a lot of different weapons and magical abilities, and also crafting is available. Alongside with character customization, the game will also include online co-op. The game has a release date of February 25, 2022.
Enemy stance can be broken with heavy strikes, such as when attacking from above. A variety of unique attacks can also be interchanged between weapons. In more perilous situations, we can summon spirits to assist us in battle. Spirits vary greatly in type, so we look forward to players experimenting and finding their personal favorites.
Next up is The Feast. The Feast is an upcoming horror indie sandbox game where if you get captured, you'll be eaten by cannibals as you were kidnapped and brought to a private island to be a part of a mass feast. Literally, you are part of the mass feast, your dinner. And if you are eaten, your captives will grow stronger. But there's other like you on this island that have been captured. You can find and rescue these people and become allies, so when you die, you can play as one of them. The game kind of sounds like Watch Dogs Legion if you guys ever played that one, which is a good thing in my opinion. The game has a release date somewhere in 2022. Next up on this list is Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is an upcoming first-person horror and survival game being made and is being published by a Ukraine-based company, GSC Game World. Stalker 2 will be the fourth game in the Stalker franchise and actually the first Stalker game to ever be released on consoles, and the first Stalker game to be made over 1 decade and a couple of years now. Now the game takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where we see that the player will have to face off a human threat and also horrifying mutated monsters. And so far we can see a couple of in-game characters and a brief teaser of the story and some weapons that will be available. The game is said to have a multiplayer mode, which is very awesome. The graphics and the gameplay is powered by the Unreal Engine 5, which we've seen so far. The game has potential to be one of the best looking Xbox Series X exclusive. The game will also support mods and will be releasing on April 28, 2022.
Вот поэтому я не пулю выберу.
The last game on this list is Scorn. Scorn is an upcoming survival horror adventure game currently developed and published by EBB Software. The game is set in a nightmarish universe, and to me the game looks more like you just been swallowed by a horrifying giant and you're living inside his stomach. But the truth is, the game was designed with the idea of you being thrown into a world with no idea what's going on. The game world is open world with different interconnecting regions, with each region looking more like some type of maze, with your weapon also looking like some fleshy weaponized monster. The game and its style is just different and looks like nothing I ever seen before, and I love the game for just that alone. But I really can't wait till this game is released sometime in 2022 to actually give it a try. Yo, y'all absolute legend if you made this far. Legends, bro. Yo, thank you guys for making this far in the video though. Serious, that mean a lot to me. Definitely leave a like and a subscribe, and let me know if you like the video, because I'm definitely trying to like make these videos where I put like the Xbox Series X and the PS5 against each other to see like which console is like the best. But until those videos are ready, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.